What is up? Hopefully you guys are staying healthy, staying safe in this COVID-19 crisis. And to be honest, I feel like the hype of the COVID-19 has died down a good amount, but still it's out there. Better safe than sorry. Don't go out, touching random ass people. You'll probably get the virus, you'll probably get the corona that way. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I've been getting a couple questions about the difference of difficulty of community college and a four-year university. In my case, USC. Some of the questions I've gotten were people saying, oh, I'm struggling, at community college. I'm a STEM major. These computer science classes, these math classes are hard, and I'm worried if I go to USC or, a top tier college, I might not be able to handle the course load. So what's your opinion on this? So I'll tell you a little story. I think it's pretty funny now looking back of my first experience at USC of taking a test. So like I said in my other videos, community college, I worked hard, I got a 4.0. So when I finally got accepted into USC and I took my first classes, I took this history course that I had to take for a GE that I had to fulfill at USC. For me, history is actually one of my stronger subjects. I actually really like history. I wouldn't say I'm a history buff, but I think I know a good amount of history, not everything, but it's something that I like learning about. So I felt like, oh, USC, if I take history here, I may have to study a little bit harder, but I already know most of the content. It was an 8 a.m. history class at USC. I remember it was my first semester. Teacher was terrible. It was just one of those classes where it was just straight lecture. She would get a PowerPoint and just talk and just flip the slides for 2 hours straight at an 8 a.m. class. Granted, that was my fault. I actually had no other option. All the classes were filled up, so the 8 a.m. was the only choice that I had. But for this class specifically, there were no quizzes, there were no homeworks or anything. There were some essays that we had to write, but I'd say 70% of the grade in that class was based off the final. So if you fuck up the final, you fail the class basically. So this is where the funny part comes in. So when it became final season, I had other classes I had to study for. It wasn't just that history class I was taking. I took 15, 16 units, so I was studying for other classes. But for that test, the professor told us that the test is not a multiple choice, but it's a essay question, an essay prompt, and she gave us a list of 10 essay prompts. She said, study all these 10 essay prompts. 2 of these essay prompts will be on the final exam. And essays, great. I love writing essays more than multiple choice. I'd take an essay over multiple choice any day. But at the same time, these prompts were they weren't normal prompts. It wasn't like a short 1-2 sentence. It was like a paragraph prompt, and it was so detailed. Like, you can't bullshit it. You have to study the content. You have to know the topic if you want to even write a little bit of the topic. But like I said, that history class was so boring. I took my notes, but I just couldn't pay attention in that class, which is my fault, So she gives the 10 essay prompts, and there was no way I could study all 10. It would take too much time. Like I said, I had other classes to study for. I'm not gonna just study for this one class. So I took a gamble, I took a risk, and I studied only 5. Okay, 5 out of the 10. And it wasn't even that thoroughly studying. It was just knowing the basic prompts and the basic topics and the basic ideas. My goal was just to get a C in that class. I usually set my standards high, but I had other classes that to me were more important than this history class. I studied the 5 prompts, like a week before the test, and I prayed to God. I was like, please, 50% chance that 2 of these prompts will come out on this test. Just please, God, please just make sure at least 1 of the prompts that I studied come out on the final. I studied the 5 prompts. Took me hella fucking long. I went to the final exam the next morning. She passes out the paper to the essay. Look at the prompts. There were 0 prompts that I studied. So out of the 10 prompts that she gave me, she said she would only choose 2 prompts, and out of the 5 prompts that I studied, 0 came out. What are the chances, man? That's so unlucky. So I looked at the paper and I said, fuck, dude, I failed. Like, there's nothing I can do. And it's to the point where you can't even bullshit the essay. If you bullshit it, you look even worse because you have no idea what you're writing about. I took the essay prompts. I literally don't even know what I wrote. I just wrote random ass shit. I tried to base it off US history, but dude, I have no idea what I wrote. I finished the exam in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And it's a 2-hour test. And I think I was like one of the first 3 people who finished it. And when I was walking up to the teacher to give him my essay, you know, the other students were looking at me like, oh shit, yo, this dude must be like hella smart. Like, he just finished this test in like 20 minutes. You know, when I gave the paper to her, she was like, oh, okay. Like, she was like surprised, like, oh dude, this dude, okay, like he aced it or something, you know. A week later, the exam results came out. I got a fucking D, a D minus. I failed that class. I think I got a W. I'm not too sure, but the next semester I had to take a different history class within that same GE. That history class was hella easy, hella chill. Professor was chill, so everything worked out. But the thing I want to stress is, bro, the difference of difficulty from community college and a 4-year is drastic. It's not even comparable from my experience. So for those of you guys in community college who wants to know the difficulty, that's just one story of how difficult it is. But like I said, that's just a unique case. I feel like that specific class and that specific professor was just hella fucking hard. That was the only class that I had to drop. That was the only class that I failed. All the other classes, I either got a C or above. I think my GPA upon graduation was like a 3.2, which is not that bad, but my first semester GPA was like 2.6 or something, just hella bad. And this is coming from a 4.0 at community college, and studying the same exact way I studied at USC resulted me in getting a 2.6. So that's the difference, bro. I'm just being real with you. And for me, I feel like that should be the case. You know, if you go to a top 25 college, a top tier college, bro, it should be harder, you know, because you're going somewhere where there's more smart people in, you know, a smaller proximity. Community college, like I said, it's easy because not everyone is able to complete those tasks well. When it comes to the tests, when it comes to the professors and the curriculum, they have to design it in a way where it's easy or doable for everyone at community college, you know? But when you go to the top tier colleges, it's a lot more competitive. Like, you're surrounded by a lot more smarter people. So they gotta make it difficult, you know, which makes sense. But I just wanted to throw this story out. I thought it was funny. And for those who are still trying to transfer out well, study hard at community college, get your 4.0. But once you go to a 4-year university, it'll be pretty hard to maintain that 4.0. That's not a big deal, right? Because all you need is that college degree.